everyone. Can you hear me? I'm Paige Gales. Thank you all for coming this morning. For over the past 2 decades, the staff here at Vestal High School gets the privilege twice a year to recognize our amazing students, not only for their efforts and accomplishments academically, but for their unique gifts and talents, such as their exceptional character and perseverance. I speak on behalf of all our staff here in our virtual room this morning when I say that it is an absolute honor to hand our students their well-deserved awards. These students make a difference in our classrooms, at school, and virtually now in our Zoom classrooms, and we want to make sure that their positivity does not go unnoticed. So before we get started and I hand things over to Mrs. Young, our principal, and Mr. Ducko, our other principal, I just want to thank our recognition committee. I would like to thank Ms. Conrad for doing all the administrative tasks for this event, and to Mrs. Young and to Mr. Ducko for putting together our slideshow for us. So thank you everyone and welcome. And congratulations to all our students who are nominated this morning.
Good morning. I know that we wish we could be together and sharing our bagels and fruit and all the wonderful goodies that our staff puts together every time we have a student recognition breakfast. Unfortunately, we can't be together, so I hope you all have a cup of coffee or a glass of juice and can enjoy the recognition that we want to make sure that we notice. We know the things that you are all doing from your homes. We notice that, we want to recognize you, and we want to tell you to keep it up. You students are the reason that we do what we do, and you brighten our days every day by the little things that you do. And today is a testament to all of those things that you do. So today's program, we are going to begin with 9th graders and we are going to go alphabetically. We're going to do things a little bit differently than we typically do. And this morning we have many of the staff members who have nominated each of the students who will be sharing their thoughts about why each of our students are so special. So with that, we're going to begin with our first 9th grade student and Miss Berry.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So cool, I get to start. All right, so I nominated, oh, that's such a nice picture. I nominated Carmela DiRenzo. She's in my 2nd period class. Carmela has completed every single assignment I have given since March 16th. She has done so with a smile on her face. She has even attended my early 9 a.m. Zoom meetings, even though she really had no questions or no issues, just to smile and say hi. I appreciate all of her hard work, and I wish I had more time with her this year. Thank you, Carmela.
Miss Spruce, I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yes.
You're good. Go ahead, Miss Spruce. I think maybe we're having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to go ahead and read Olivia, and perhaps in the next one we can figure out what's going on with Miss Spruce. I know she's trying to log in from her home as well. So the next student nominated is nominated by Miss Spruce, and this is Olivia Gallagher. Olivia is one of the kindest, most hardworking students I have ever taught. She is respectful to everyone around her and is always looking to include any students that are in need of a partner for group activities. Olivia is a wonderful role model for her peers through her constant caring and positive attitude. She is an absolute joy to have in French class. Thank you, Olivia.
Okay. I nominated Kaden Grayson. Kaden has been working hard since day one of this quarantine and the rest of the year too. He has completed all the assignments I have posted. He jumps on Zoom early in the morning to check in and say hello, and he's always positive and friendly. I truly appreciate his sense of responsibility and effort. Thank you, Kaden.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Just checking sound. I think I'm unmuted now.
You're good, Mr. Brems. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm nominating Cooper Hubbard here. Cooper has consistently demonstrated an outstanding work ethic in our earth science class this year. Cooper asks questions and participates in class actively, has a positive attitude and is a positive role model to others. Cooper's outstanding work ethic and effort has continued during home learning in earth science. Keep up the good work, Cooper.
Good morning. Hi, I would like to recognize Riley KRESSLY. This is Miss Family. My reason, Riley is a self-motivated learner. When we had face-to-face school, Riley stood out as an excellent student with a 95 or better average in biology. But since school has been closed down, Riley's ability to be an independent and self-motivated learner have highlighted his maturity and intelligence. During this period of school closure, Riley has been completing all of his biology assignments and work ahead of schedule. His work is always well done. He is accurate and thoughtful, but it is his personal responsibility and internal drive and motivation that is so admirable. Way to go, Riley.
Miss Spruce, are you able to read?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can read, but I can't see myself on there. I would like to read. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty.
Go right ahead. We're up to Teresa Pio.
Wonderful. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I nominated Teresa Pio. Teresa is an extremely hard worker who's always striving for more knowledge. She's very kind and respectful to everyone around her, and she is such a positive role model for all, and a joy to have in French class. Congratulations, Teresa. You deserve this.
Thank you, Miss Spruce.
Thank you.
Good morning. Mr. Brems and Mr. Green would like to not recognize Alexandra Steenberg, and Mr. Green will be reading the nomination. So Alex, Mr. Brems and I are both very proud of your hard work in earth science. We are also happy to see how much you have grown as a student this year. You're always the first one done with our assessments, and your scores have always been exemplary. We thank you for always staying on track with your assignments and also lending a helping hand to other students during the labs. Keep up the great work, Alex. You rock.
Good work, Alex.
Good morning, this is Mrs. Scriber, and I nominated Benjamin Wheeler. Ben has adapted beautifully to online instruction. He's been a role model to his peers as well as a helper. From the very first week, Ben was fully involved, joining all online meetings and completing assignments in a timely manner. His technology skills have had a chance to shine as he figured out the many different platforms that his teachers are using and helped others, even his teachers, to troubleshoot and solve the inevitable problems that come with such an undertaking. Throughout it all, Ben has maintained his upbeat, sunny attitude and has been self-disciplined enough to maintain his training regimen for cross country all on his own. Keep up the good work, Ben. I'm proud of you.
Good morning, this is Miss Wilson. I've nominated Samson Wong. Samson is a kind, thoughtful student who is always looking out for his friends and fellow students. He does all of his work, asks important questions, and is always a pleasure to see on my Zoom meetings. Samson is responsible and passionate about all of his classwork and extracurricular activities, and I appreciate his dedication to everything he does. Congratulations, Samson.
Okay, I am nominating Angelina Zachrazik. When Angelina first started her year in earth science, she didn't like science and had expressed that she hadn't had a lot of success with the subject. And in the beginning of the year, she struggled with the material. However, she worked very hard and not only improved, but excelled. But I'm also choosing Angelina because she doesn't just represent one of the categories for consideration, but so many. She's an outstanding worker with all her work always in on time, complete and done very well. She goes above and beyond, completing almost all of the optional work during the interim before marking period 4 and during the year, always at least attempting every optional assignment, bonus or homework or challenge question. She is cooperative and helpful, always asking to assist and never complaining. She has concern for others, continually helping students in the classroom, and she's enthusiastic, having a spirited energy, ready to learn. Overall, an excellent role model. Thank you, Angelina.
Congratulations to all our 9th graders. You really are inspiring us all. And next up, we have our 10th grade students, which will begin with Miss Flesher, Senora Flesher.
Hola, buenos dias. I would like to nominate Delilah Brown. And at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, something shifted in Delilah and her focus on Spanish class. She always completed her work and was cooperative in class, participated when called on, all that good stuff. But at the turn of the semester, she started to have a study hall in my room 5th period every other day. She started asking me questions about Spanish in general, her assignments, travel abroad opportunities, a lot of stuff. I started to see a difference in the quality of her work, her participation, and her curiosity. Then blammo, this closure happens. But Delilah has been on top of everything. She communicates with me regularly. She's the first to show up for our class on Zoom. She asks questions on how to make her assignment better or to make sure she has everything before she turns it in. Her focus has been wonderful while she multitasks, taking care of her younger sibling. I want to commend her on her focus, her hard work, and her dedication to continue to do well during these complicated times. I hope I'm lucky enough to have her in Spanish for next year. Great job, Delilah.
For the next nomination, we have Carissa Camp, and she was nominated by Miss Estelle. Carissa is always welcoming in the hallways, always positive and upbeat. And Miss Estelle and myself, we all miss your smiling face. Thank you, Carissa.
Okay, I nominated Lillian Hamp. Lily has not only completed all the assignments I have posted, but she has also been engaging with the material to the full extent. She was one of the only students that reached out for help and clarifications on content, even when the assignments were not being graded. This shows her true intrinsic motivation and respect for learning. She continues to email me every time she needs clarifications, and I'm so grateful that she's making me do my job. I am always happy to help her, and it makes me feel useful. She always responds to my teaching emails with a thank you and yes, that makes sense. She has really showed her strong character through all of this uncertainty, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Lily.
Hello, this is Mrs. O'Donnell. I'd like to nominate Hannah Hansen. She is a student who is truly engaged and interested in chemistry. She's always participating, whether in school or on Zoom. I can always count on her asking questions to clarify her understanding. This often inspires others to ask questions too. All students benefit from having her in class. I can't wait to see what she accomplishes in the future. Thanks, Hannah.
Next, we have Emily Kane, who was nominated by Miss Doolittle, and I will be reading her nomination. It is an honor to teach Emily Global 2. She is a hardworking student that always tries her best and has an excellent work ethic. Her willingness to learn is nothing short of commendable. Best yet, Emily's efforts are outshined by her kindness. She is always respectful towards everyone and makes everyone feel welcomed. I have no doubt in my mind that Emily will be successful in the future. I miss seeing her in class every day, but I am glad I get to see her every week in Zoom class. Thank you, Emily.
Okay, I nominated Will King. Will has shown so much improvement throughout this school year, and I am so proud of him for rising to the challenge of online learning. So far in the fourth quarter, Will has submitted all his assignments, and it is evident that he has also put effort and thought into his work. It can be very difficult to rise up and make changes, and this is exactly what Will has done. I am so very proud of him. Thank you, Will.
Hello again, this is Benjamin Green speaking, and I'm speaking on behalf of Mr. Brems and I, who wish to recognize Emma in our Earth Science class. And as an added bonus, we like to bring the magic of Google and speech-to-text software to translate our speech into Chinese as well. So here's our English version. Emma, you have worked so hard in our Earth Science class this year, both in the classroom and online. Your dedication to your schoolwork is truly commendable. We are both very proud of you for your continued efforts, not only with learning a new language, but also doing the best in our class, which I know can get rocky at times. Your perseverance serves as a model for other students to follow. Keep up the great work, Emma. And now, in translation for Chinese.
您今年在课堂上和在线上都非常努力地参加了地球科学课。您今年在课堂上和在线上都非常努力地参加了地球科学课。
Thank you.
Nice work, Emma.
The next student recognized is Jenna Miller. She was nominated by myself, Mrs. Reed, and Ms. Zinkavich. Jenna has done an extraordinary job of advocating for herself and staying on top of her work for algebra all year. During the current school closure, she has worked tirelessly to make sure she understands the work, asks us lots of questions, and setting up extra help session to advocate for herself, and we are very proud of how far she has come as a mathematician and as an overall student. Great job, Jenna.
Hello again. I also am nominating Mackenzie Parks from my Earth Science class. Mackenzie has consistently demonstrated a responsible work ethic and positive attitude in our Earth Science class this year. Mackenzie's work reflects care and effort, setting a good example for others. Mackenzie continues to demonstrate personal responsibility as work continues during home learning and Earth Science. Keep up the good work, Mackenzie.
I'd like to recognize Arav Shah. Arav is a positive presence in our class, whether in school or on Zoom. He is consistently engaged and enthusiastic. He is a leader in lab investigations and is my go-to for all things electronic. He's always willing to help me figure out problems with software, Wi-Fi, probeware, you name it. Plus, he has mastered the art of frying eggs over the Bunsen burner. I see great things in his future. Congratulations, Ara.
Myself, Ms. Reed, and Ms. Sienkiewicz would now like to recognize Lastasia Shaw. Lastasia is a people person, so not having her people around has made this school closure very tough on her. Out to teachers to make sure she gets what she needs, both academically and socially. Her attitude and gratitude during this very tough time has been a shining light, and we are grateful to her for her continually reminding us why we love teaching. It is kids like Lastasia who keep us smiling. Lastasia was also nominated by Ms. Estelle, and Ms. Estelle wrote, Lastasia has stated that she is currently on honor roll. Great job, Lastasia.
The next person I nominated was Madison SHEAR. Madison is a dedicated, positive, and passionate student. She's always enthusiastic and cares about her family, classmates, and teachers. She asks smart questions and always completes her work on time, whether it's during the year or while we're on home learning. Her smile and spirit are contagious, and she's a role model student. Congratulations, Maddie.
I nominated Haley Summers. Haley has improved and stepped up her game 100-fold this quarter. I am so proud of Haley for making this change and taking responsibility for her learning. I greatly respect her decision to turn things around. It is not easy for anyone to do this, and it takes a strong person to follow through and reach these goals. Haley has been completing all of her work even early and completing it with thought and attention. I am so proud of you, Haley. Thank you.
This is Mrs. Brown, and I nominated Jory Tate. Jory is a super student. She is incredibly reliable. She follows directions, participates, asks interesting questions, and is a hard worker. Jory is personable and has a good sense of humor. She comes to class each day, ready to learn and with a good attitude. The only reason I haven't nominated her before is because I assumed she got one of these awards each semester. I feel lucky to call her my student.
Congratulations to all of our 10th graders. Really some amazing work that's being done. Next up, we have our 11th graders, and we will begin this with Mr. McKinley and his Magnificent Seven.
Thank you and good morning, and thank you to Mr. Dutko for getting all these images on one slide. I know it was a lot of work, but if I nominated each of these wonderful 7 students, we'd be here literally for hours. So let me just say, these 7 students were unlucky enough to be stuck with me for 2 straight years, once in Global 2 and again in US history. Fortunately for me, these are very bright, charismatic, enthusiastic, empathetic, and diligent students who were leaders in my classroom. Best of all, they all learned to pretend to laugh at my terrible jokes. Now, whenever I hear someone dismiss the younger generation or worry about what's going to happen in the future, I think of these wonderful students who will be the leaders of the future. And as I always say, the world as it exists right now, is not your fault, but it is your problem. Now, go fix everything. Thank you. One last thing, I feel like I have been somewhat cheated this year. I had a wonderful student teacher earlier this year, and now with the distance learning, so I'm working with the guidance department. You'll all have to repeat US history next year with me and perhaps co-teach at times. So thank you guys for being awesome. I appreciate it.
Hello again. I would like to recognize Hamza Chowdhury. Hamza has participated regularly in chemistry, even after our school closure. When he doesn't perform as well as he'd like, he seeks help when many other students would just let it go and move to the next assignment. He's always a positive presence in our Zoom meetings and is one of the few students to speak up. It makes our meetings so much better. I am proud of Hamza for staying focused and positive during these unusual times. Thank you, Hamza.
Recognizing Ella Dauber, it has been my utmost pleasure to have and Algebra 2. Ella is an extremely hardworking student who arrives to class every day with a smile upon her face. Even during this difficult time of online learning, Ella continues to strive to do her best and learn as much as she can. Ella's perseverance and positive attitude will certainly help her achieve great things in life. Keep up the great work, Ella.
Buenos días. Isaac Green. Isaac has always shown great talents in Spanish this year. He puts forth his best efforts every single class, in school and on Zoom. I appreciate a student who is reliable, self-motivated, kind, and curious, and Isaac is all of those qualities and much more. Throughout this unusual time, Isaac has put the pedal to the metal with his Spanish. His work is exceptional, full of thought, and advanced. I can tell he puts a lot of time into each and every single assignment we go through. He attends classes regularly and leads discussion for his peers. Isaac, I'm super excited for what your Spanish future entails. Bravo, Isaac, bravo.
I'm recognizing Henry Cachadorian. During this year in Algebra 2, Henry has shown himself to be a remarkably hardworking and motivated young man. In class, Henry is always engaged in the learning, asking questions, and doing his best. Outside of the classroom, Henry is willing to seek extra help when needed to help further his understanding of the material or to improve his test grades. What really sets Henry apart, while online learning is not ideal, Henry continues to work diligently to be successful. Keep up the great work, HK.
Sorry, I wasn't following my script. Sorry, I would like to nominate Colin Kittner. Colin is a respectful and intelligent young man who always works hard in my US history class. Every day I know that Colin has his homework completed and is ready to work without fail. When Colin misses a question or I make a note on his work, I know that he reads it and retains the information. And that may not seem like much, but it is wonderful to have a student who cares as much as Colin does. I'd like to think there's something special about my US history course, but the truth is that Colin is an outstanding young man of great character with a bright future ahead of him. Thanks, Colin.
I nominated Emma Noelle Lewis. Emma is a responsible, kind, and a hard worker. She's always prepared and asks questions when she needs clarification, even through distance learning. She cares about others and works hard to be successful, whether we're in school or we're on Zoom. She's a pleasure to have in orchestra, and I'm so glad that I was able to get her again after having her in middle school. Congrats, Emma.
Good morning. This is Mrs. Moyer. I nominated CARLIN, REYEN, and Abby Sprague. When we were in our classroom, I could always count on CARLIN, REYEN, and Abby Sprague to walk in with a smile and nice thing to say to me or a classmate. Their positive, inquisitive nature created a wonderful learning environment and helped make my job both fun and rewarding. Now, as we work through the struggles of Zoom, trying innovative approaches and all sorts of new technology, I continue to depend on CARLIN and Abby to be leaders and to brighten our day. Thank you, CARLIN and Abby, for being willing to put yourself out there by asking the first question. I can always rely on you to get the ball rolling. Your enthusiasm, optimism, and determination are greatly appreciated now more than ever. Congrats. And thank you to all my other wonderful students that I get to see. You are all well deserving of everything that everyone's saying.
Hello again, Mr. Green speaking, and I would like to recognize Rachel Showalter. Rachel, you are a remarkable student. Your diligence and perseverance with math this year is truly inspiring. Even when the school closed back in March, you were willing to continue working with math to improve your skills, asking me for help when you needed it. Not only was it a challenge for me to devise new creative ways to assist you from a computer screen, I know that this unprecedented situation was a challenge for all of us to adapt to. However, you faced it head on and continued to perform admirably. I am very proud of you for your dedication to your schoolwork, both in the classroom and online, and I consider myself fortunate to know you as one of my students. Keep up the stellar work.
So this is Brian McKinley again, and I'd like to recognize Jillian Stafford. My reason is many of us are struggling during these times, and some students are doing the bare minimum of work, but not Jillian. During learning from home, Jillian has consistently gone above and beyond what is requested and produced really, really excellent work. So thank you. Some of us are more comfortable than others speaking and expressing out loud, and others of us do better with the written word. And without a doubt, Jillian is a very intelligent student, but during this time, she's found a way to refine and amplify her voice. So great work, and thank you, Jillian.
Bonjour, Madame Ao here, and I recognize MARENA and ARIANA KLINE. These two young ladies are a dynamic duo for sure. I've had them both since ninth grade, and over the years, they've never failed to impress me with their work, their respect, and their ability to always go above and beyond my expectations. These sisters have continued their amazing work right through the closure and have been on top of all of their schoolwork, participating on a regular basis in all of their classes, and managing to do it all with a smile on their faces. Not a week goes by that they don't pop on a Zoom and I see their beautiful faces. They've emerged as leaders and come out of their shell since we first met their freshman years. I'm so excited for MARENA to continue to shine her light in Suoniana and for ARIANA to continue flourishing in French in my classroom. Un grand merci les filles, bravo.
Congratulations to all of our 11th graders. Thank you for all your contributions to making our online community even stronger. Next up, we have our grade 12, our seniors, and I will be reading the first nomination, which was nominated by Mr. Kiley, and this is Brenna Burdick. Brenna Burdick is an excellent role model. Brenna has grown into such a wonderful role model for the other members of Vestal Voices. She demonstrates poise and a positive and productive attitude while maintaining a very honest sense of reality, personal emotion, and group dynamic. Thank you, Brenna.
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Drexler Smith, and I'd like to recognize Megan KADEN. I learned that she has been serving our community with her family to pick up food and deliver it to the hospitals. And this is such an honorable community service during this difficult time. But even more humbling is the reality that the only reason I actually know about her efforts is because she respectfully wrote me an email in which she apologized that she couldn't make one of our Zooms because these service times conflicted with one of our class meetings. So when she is on the virtual platforms, which is almost every other time, I'm so grateful to her. She's one of the first to fill in those awkward Zoom silences with a smile or a comment, a question. She really is just as wonderful a person as she is a student. And as a graduating senior, I know that she'll continue to have a really positive impact on whomever she meets, wherever she goes. So thanks, Megan. I'm gonna miss you.
Next up, we have Asher Danton, who was nominated by Mr. Kiley. Asher was nominated for personal improvement. Over the last few years, Asher has grown from a shy, timid, anxious student into a confident role model who takes risks, demonstrates bravery, and lets the world see him for the talented, creative, and intelligent person that he is. Thank you for sharing that with us, Asher.
Good morning. This morning, I'd like to recognize Paul Egan. From me, Paul's recognition is long overdue. Paul has been coming into the Project Lead the Way room during his free time since 11th grade to help me organize and manage materials. He has cleaned, reorganized, and thrown out old materials that have been piling up for years. I may need him to come back from college next year to show me where everything is. Thanks, Paul, for all of your hard work. It has been truly a pleasure to have you as a student for these many years, and I wish I could say goodbye and good luck to you in person.
Good morning, this is Mr. Marson. I'd also like to nominate Paul Egan. During the closure, Paul has put considerable thought and care into his English work. He thinks critically about the content and makes connections between what he's reading and what's happening in the world around him. He shows up for the weekly Zoom meeting with ideas to discuss, even if he is the only one to attend. I truly appreciate his hard work and dedication, and I know that it is indicative of his future success. Thank you, Paul.
Hi, this is Mrs. Little. I'm nominating Ashlyn Fletcher. My reason is Ashlyn is an excellent role model in class and out. Ashlyn has always been a student who has completed work with care and it is on time. She helps her classmates when it's needed and is a wonderful representative for our school spirit. She is kind and she is always smiling. Ashlyn is a senior that will be missed.
This is Mr. Marson again. I'd like to nominate Ashlyn Fletcher. It's been inspiring for me to hear how Ashlyn has found the silver lining in these challenging times. It's easy and understandable to see the negative, but Ashlyn has remained thoughtful and optimistic. She has been completing her English work with thought and care, and she has been spending her time in constructive ways. She's also been finding joy in sharing more time with her family. Thank you, Ashlyn.
This is Mrs. Little again. I am nominating Rachel Gillette. My reason for Rachel has stepped up and she has become the sole student and contributor for the high school Instagram. She has controlled and created all of the imagery and has gathered all the information to post. She is a great asset to the school with her wealth of knowledge when it comes to communication, and her work ethic is evident. Congratulations, Rachel.
Hi there, this is Mrs. Gaylord, and myself and Mrs. Harrington have nominated Rachel Gallett and Jack Zhao. Rachel and Jack have both presented such a dedication to our Vestal High School students and staff every day, bringing to us the Pledge of Allegiance and upcoming events at the start of our day, and with an amazing send-off at the end of every day, with the morning and afternoon announcements. You both have done such a wonderful job and shown such Golden Bear spirit. We certainly appreciate you and wish you both well as you leave us and go out into the world, moving forward in your education. Remember, while on your journey, to reach for the stars. Thank you both.
Mrs. Little again. I would like to nominate Brooke Hammaker. My reason is Brooke has always been a delight for me as a student in school, and still continuing out of school, she reaches out to me. She has spirit, enthusiasm over what she does, and she always has a smile on her face. She helps cheer up everyone else around her with her positivity, and Brooke is a senior I will miss seeing her smiling face every day. Congratulations, Brooke.
Next, we have Hannah Kraus, who was nominated by Mr. Thayer. And this is what Mr. Thayer says. Hannah, like some of her peers, has had an excellent work ethic for her entire tenure at the high school. I want to recognize those 4 years of hard work. However, I especially want to acknowledge the hard work Hannah has done at the end of the third marking period when participation in school became voluntary. Hannah's commitment to furthering her education when grades were no longer a factor made her stand out amongst her peers. Her actions remind me of a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson, which reflects one of the core philosophies of my classroom. There is no greater education than one that is self-driven. Thank you, Hannah.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Restuccia, and I'd like to recognize Adam Lewis. Adam spent countless hours preparing the videos and tech support for the school-wide Talent Fest, which was canceled just days before we left. His dedication extended into the social distancing world when he remastered the staff notorious carpool karaoke for the YouTube viewers. He reached over 2,600 views and lifted many spirits during a very tough time. He's an outstanding young man, and I personally will miss him very much, and so will the student government. I'd also like to say that Talent Fest will be on our way in just a few weeks, so stay tuned and check out YouTube. Thanks.
Next, we have Marissa Lorenzetti, who was nominated by Mr. Kiley. Mr. Kiley says, throughout her time in Vestal Voices as both a member and an officer, Marissa has displayed selflessness and leadership by working behind the scenes, volunteering, helping others, thinking about the future, and helping the group work towards the best version of itself. Thank you, Marissa.
I nominated Arianis Burgess-Lugo. Arianis never gives up. I am always amazed by Arianis. No matter what challenges she faces, no matter the adversity, she perseveres. She pushes herself and gives 100% effort without complaint. She is such a strong person, and I truly admire her character and integrity. Thank you, Arianis.
I nominated Sakara Madden. Sakara has gone above and beyond in the third quarter for orchestra. She asked to teach a Zoom class on Egyptian and Middle Eastern music during home learning. She prepared an hour presentation to give to her classmates that included examples, discussion, and wonderful musical connections. I'm proud of her enthusiasm and her responsibility for our orchestra. I know she'll do amazing things in college. Congratulations, Sakara.
This is Mrs. Little again. I nominate Maggie Murphy. My reason is Maggie has always been a super caring person. Her concern for others is evident. She goes above and beyond to try and make sure that her friends and teachers are cared for and are doing well. She always greets me with a "Hello, Mrs. Little, how are you doing today?" And I will miss her thoughtfulness as she graduates this year. Congratulations, Maggie.
The next student to be recognized is Taylor Petrovich. Taylor was nominated by Ms. Estelle, and this is what she wrote. Taylor is always friendly and caring. She has become a responsible and mature 12th grader. I miss her positive, upbeat personality and reaching out and being helpful. I'm going to miss seeing her the rest of the school year and will really miss seeing her at graduation. Good luck in everything you do, Taylor.
Next, we have Ashley Sensenig, nominated by Mr. Kiley. And Mr. Kiley is nominating Ashley for enthusiasm and care for others. Ashley has a powerful capacity for empathy and uses that to reach out and help take care of her peers. She notices what others don't, wears her heart on a sleeve, and spreads energy and support throughout the program. Thank you, Ashley.
The next student is Caitlin Strojny. Caitlin was nominated by Ms. Martino, and Ms. Martino wrote, I'm thrilled to recognize Caitlin as a hardworking, determined student and all-around amazing person. She's such a heartwarming moment for me. She has truly overcome her share of adversity during these 4 years. And With this, I have so much admiration for her strength and courage to carry on. Caitlin has been such an inspiration to me. I hope someday she will see herself the way I see her. Thank you, Caitlin, for being so awesome. Happy graduation. You made it, and I am so proud of you.
Hi, this is Miss Wallach, and I am nominating Mason Van Zandt. Mason has been involved in the GSA since he was a freshman. His leadership skills over the last 4 years have grown exponentially, but most importantly, he's one of the most accepting people I have ever met, and I've met a lot of people. He makes everyone in his orbit feel worthy, and I've never heard an unkind word from him. Other students turn to him when they're troubled, and Mason always makes the time and listens with respect. Mason is a gift to us all. Congratulations, Mason.
Next, we have Kasmira Wells, nominated by Mr. Kiley. And Mr. Kiley says, she's nominated for an outstanding attitude. When Kasmira is faced with a challenge or disappointment, she takes it in, accepts it, and then works incredibly hard to improve and overcome it. She does this with poise, vigor, and grace, and provides a wonderful example for others. Thank you, Kasmira.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Schofield, and I am nominating KRESSLY Williams. Throughout this year, I have seen KRESSLY make tremendous growth and gains both academically and as a person. She started off the year quiet and reserved, keeping to herself. As the year progressed, I noticed that KRESSLY began to open up, participate in class, even smile and laugh at my jokes. She eventually began to come in for extra help with math or just to talk, really letting her guard down and opening up. During the school closure, KRESSLY easily could have went back to being quiet and not actively participating in home instruction. She has done the complete opposite. She comes to our weekly Zoom meetings, is actively engaged, and checks in with me on her mind frequently. She always has her work done before the due date, and her grades have been stellar the past few weeks. I'm so proud of all KRESSLY has accomplished this year, both academically and personally, and it truly has been my pleasure to have been her teacher this year. I know she has a bright future ahead of her, and I wish her all the best. Congratulations, KRESSLY.
Congratulations to all of our seniors. I want to thank you all for the contributions that you've made to the Vestal High School community. I want to thank the teachers for nominating and sharing these wonderful stories and observations about our students, particularly in this time where we can't be together. Really, all of us being together is what makes the school a special place to be. And it is so heartwarming that there is additional connections being made over the distances. I want to thank Mrs. Conrad for coordinating this event's nomination process. And I want to thank everyone who's joining us this morning. As you can see, the members of the Vestal High School community truly embody the traits of the International Baccalaureate. We are learners who are inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk takers, balanced, and reflective. At this moment in history, when we are facing uncertainty and isolation, these students are shining examples of what it means to be a Vestal Golden Bear. Today, we take time to recognize you, students, for staying the course, for rising above challenges, for reminding us what it means to be a community, and for inspiring us, your educators, to be our best selves. We appreciate your contribution to our Golden Bear community by being role models for others through your actions. Continue to be focused, be kind, be well, and stay golden. Thank you.